What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. I am your host, Blake Chaos. Today, we are talking keys to the game. What do the Detroit Lions need to do to beat the San Francisco 49ers in Sunday's NFC Championship game? But before we get into all of that, guys, do me a favor. Subscribe to the channel, like this video, comment below, all of that fun stuff. It really, really does help the channel grow. With all that out of the way,
I
guys, let's
wanted
get
this
into it.
job bad because I felt like I knew this community. I played here. All right. Here's what I know. Just as an overall philosophy, you're going to say, well, what's this team going to be? What's it not going to be? Here's what I know. All right. I know that Detroit's made up of great people, some really good people. All right. This community is strong. Um, this place has been kicked, it's been battered, it's been bruised. And I can sit up here and give you coach speak all day long. I can give you, hey, we're going to win this many games. I can't, that none of that matters. And you guys don't want to hear it anyway. You've had enough of that shit. So excuse my language. All right. Here's what I do know is that this team is going to take on the identity of this city. All right. And this city's been down and it found a way to get up. All right. It's found a way to overcome adversity. All right. And so this team's going to be built on, we're going to kick you in the teeth. All right. And when you punch us back, we're going to smile at you. And when you knock us down, we're going to get up. And on the way up, we're going to bite a kneecap off. All right. And we're going to stand up. And then it's going to take 2 more shots to knock us down. All right. And on the way up, we're going to take your other kneecap and we're going to get up. And then it's going to take 3 shots to get us down. And when we do, we're going to take another hunk out of you. Before long, we're going to be the last one standing.
All right, guys. Now, I remember watching that press conference when Dan Campbell was announced as the Detroit Lions head coach, and I absolutely loved that message. He got a lot of flack from the media for sounding crazy, and people were questioning his job through his first year, as coaching the Detroit Lions, and who has the last laugh now? It's absolutely incredible what he has done and from day one with this culture. The entire fan base, the entire city of Detroit, he embodied that and knew, they've been through hard times, for the past however long it's been, 30 years for football, about the same time in terms of economic and poverty levels and all of that. But he took that team, put it on his shoulders, stayed true to the mission, all grit, all day. Detroit versus everybody. The motto, and they're playing for a championship game and a trip to the Super Bowl this year. So that's my question to everyone: is look who's got the last laugh. Okay, guys. One of the major things I think Detroit should do to make sure that they come away with the win is watch the game film from last week. Watch how Green Bay went into San Francisco and made that a game, all 4 quarters. Um, a lot of the success they had was predicated on running the ball. Uh, they if it was Purdy throwing to the check down and a design play to get outside the numbers and get some extra yardage, or pulling guards to open up holes and block downfield, and utilizing the receivers to get downfield and make blocks so CMC could run. I'm sorry, so Aaron Jones could get those big chunk runs. Um, that was something that really broke San Francisco down and exposed them. And I think Detroit's going to capitalize on that. Watch the game film, run a lot of those same plays. You saw Gibbs against the Falcons last week have that great run where he bounced outside the numbers. Wide receivers did a great job blocking downfield, and Gibbs was able to, break Winfield Jr.'s ankles. I hope to see a lot of that too. That's going to wear down that San Francisco front for pulling guards. That's going to do a lot of shifts and create mismatches, and then give Gibbs an opportunity and Monty an opportunity to get some big chunk plays. Detroit does have this two-headed monster of a run attack that I think they're really poised to make a big game here against San Francisco. And another thing that does is that creates the play action, and Goff utilizes the play action very well on third and medium range, third and shorts. Basically anytime Goff runs a play action, it's done on purpose. It's done with multiple run plays ahead of it to draw those linebackers and open up that secondary, that second level of the defense. And then that's ultimately going to allow JMO to get deep and take the top off. It's a really good secondary in San Francisco. They got, uh, they're physical. They're not afraid to be hands on, and Goff is going to have to figure out ways to pick apart the defense and the looks that they give them. So I do expect a lot of what we saw versus the first two rounds of the playoffs versus the Rams and versus the Falcons. Run heavy attack, switching up Gibbs and Monty, letting them both eat, utilizing that play action, looking at Laporta in the seams, and also JMO and Reynolds deep. Um, yeah, it's going to be a great game. I'm really anxious to see how Dan Campbell and Ben Johnson scheme for this. But I think one of the major keys is to keep utilizing and running the ball down the defense throats, just like Detroit has been doing this entire postseason. All right, guys, let's talk Aiden Hutchinson. This kid is an absolute beast. He is a freak of nature. I cannot speak enough about this kid. Born and raised in Michigan, went to Michigan University, beat Ohio State, which really got him riled up. Drafted number 2 overall by the Lions, and is just becoming one of the most dominant defensive players, one of the most versatile defensive players in the entire NFL. A lot of people were sleeping on him throughout the season just because he didn't really, start having a breakout year like his rookie year until later on in the season. This guy is playing with such a fierce passion right now. He wants this probably more than anybody else. And I think he is going to have a massive game against San Francisco. I think he is going to get a lot of pressure. He's going to need to get pressure on Brock Purdy, make him uncomfortable, disrupt his throwing lanes, disrupt his timing. Listen, if Detroit's going to win this game, Hutch is going to have 3 or 4, 5 or 6 pressures. We'll say 5 or 6 pressures, a sack and a half, maybe even 2. He's going to have some batted balls. He's going to have to literally be an effect on every single play. And he can do that. The guy is literally an engine. He is a motor. He is constantly going. He does not have a slow down mechanism in his body. And he's playing right now at a level that I honestly have never seen since the days of, he's reminding me a lot of Aaron Donald in the Super Bowl where the Rams beat the Bengals. Just that there was no stopping Aaron Donald on that last play to seal that Super Bowl win. There's no stopping Aiden Hutchinson right now. He is on a tear. He's going to have a huge game, and in order for the Detroit Lions to get this win, he has got to be the MVP of the championship game. Guys, all right, you know what time it is. We have got to talk about the thing that Detroit does that a lot of teams do, but has been getting a lot of attention over the past year and a half, is making linemen eligible receivers. As you can see, I remember watching this game with my father last year. Then this is after this play was ran, time on the clock. Basically this play sealed the win. 3rd and 7, Penei Sewell, eligible receiver in the flats, gets the first down, goes down. I looked at my father and I said, I love Ben Johnson. He is one of the best offensive football minds in the NFL. He's going to get a head coaching job, and he absolutely deserves it. I predict he's going to go to the Washington Commanders, and they'll draft a quarterback in his liking. But Penei Sewell, he is that team's engine. People don't understand. He is a offensive lineman who has a wide receiver skill set. He is like a ballerina. He's got hands like Odell, and he's huge and fast. Like this guy, he is just a key member on an offensive line that has been 2 or 3 years running now, one of the best offensive lines in the league. I look for a lot of Penei Sewell to have a big game. Taylor Decker, skipper. I think Jonah Jackson's out, but that offensive line will play together. They'll play as one unit. Guys, don't sleep on Penei Sewell. That's all I can say. All right, guys. Let's talk about the Detroit Lions, plain spoiler. Let's take it back to week 1, where the Kansas City Chiefs are the Super Bowl champions, and they want to raise their banner. They have a home game against the Detroit Lions, primetime football. Detroit goes in there and gets the dub. They spoil the coronation. They spoil the banner raising ceremony. They use that chip on their shoulder to make a statement. Okay, let's fast forward to I think it was week 16, week 17, when they went down to Dallas, played Dallas. That was their Hall of Fame inductee night. Okay, Detroit should have won that game. They lost that game on that bullshit call, 2-point conversion call. That was the ref's fault that they lost that game. Basically, everyone knows it. That kind of brings me to the point of seeing the NFL as scripted now, because that game was Detroit's, but the refs were paid to not let Detroit win that game because it was the Hall of Fame inductee night. Jimmy Johnson, all of that. Terrell Owens was there. It was a big night. It was televised. Detroit went in there, played spoiler again. Look for Detroit to do that same thing here. Okay, they're not expected. They're underdogs by 7 points in this game. How do you think they're going to respond to that? The same way they did against Kansas City, the same way they did against Dallas. They're going to go in there with grit. Detroit versus everybody. They're going to play hard, smash nose football, get their hands in the dirt, 3-point stance style, run the ball first, down your throat, smash your teeth. Dan Campbell, Detroit Lions football. I did see something pop up earlier that does scare me. I think the reffing crew for this NFC Championship game is led by Brad Allen, who is the ref that blew that game for Detroit down in Dallas. Don't quote me on that. I'm not 100% sure. I will look into that. But look, you can't stop this train, man. Detroit is on a roll. They are hungry. They are playing with purpose and passion, and you cannot stop these Detroit Lions.